Hi everybody and welcome back to the Little Miss Funeral YouTube channel. I'm so excited for today's video because it is another book review, and this book review is so special to me because it is written by a fellow female funeral director by the name of Chelsea Tolman. This book is Speaking of the Dead. Chelsea sent me this book a couple of months ago and I finally got around to reading it, which brings me to my very first point that I would like to talk about with all of you. This book is written in essay form. One of my favorite kinds of books to read. Since it's written in essay form, every single chapter is its own little story. So for somebody who may not have a lot of time to sit down and digest a book, it's the perfect book for you because you can pick it up, read a chapter, set it down, and a couple weeks or a couple months later, come back and pick it up without skipping a beat. Chelsea writes so beautifully and so politely. I don't know how else to explain it other than saying she is the most polite writer that I have ever read. Did that make sense? Chelsea is a professional through and through. You can tell by her writing style. She takes sensitive subjects and certain situations that she went through and just explains it in such a professional manner. When you're reading her writing style, you know that she takes the care of the dead and the families that are entrusted into her care in the highest regards possible. If I happen to be a family of somebody that she served, and if I read her book and found my story within its pages, I would not be upset in the least, because that professionalism just shines through. Because I don't know Chelsea personally, I don't know the struggles that she went through in her career besides for what I have read within her book. And the one thing that I want to say about this book, which is not necessarily a negative, is that I just wish that I was able to see a more vulnerable side of her through her writing. I feel as if Chelsea is so concerned with being professional, and I know that she takes the respect of what she does so seriously, and being in this line of work, we really do have to be careful with how we portray ourselves. But I also know from my own personal experiences that it's a hard job, that we struggle day in and day out with long hours, unpredictable work schedules, and just being around death and dying constantly. And I really would have loved to see just a little bit more of that raw side, so I could have felt like I could have identified with her just a little bit more. But that's my own personal issue. Others who are not within the industry, who may not understand that darker side of things, probably wouldn't have any sort of issues with this book whatsoever. I highly recommend picking up this book for anybody who's interested within funeral services, because this book is the perfect one to read for anybody who wants to get a better idea of what we do. There's nothing really gruesome in this book, so young readers can pick it up and get a better idea of the death care community and what we as funeral professionals do. I also think that this is the perfect introduction for people who may be interested to going into mortuary school, because she explains so many different scenarios of different things that she's gone through within the field. For anybody watching this YouTube video right now, if you are interested in getting your copy of this book, which I highly recommend, I'm going to put a link for it in the description bar below. And finally, I just want to mention how much I love the cover of this book. I know I've been holding it up in this video quite a lot, but I just think that having her walking in a cemetery in that black and white setting is so cute. Is cute the right word? I don't know if it's the right word, but this whole cover is totally my style. I just love how the book itself looks. I want to thank Chelsea for sending me her book, Speaking of the Dead. I really enjoyed reading it, and I think you all will too. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.